Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be a review / recommendation for Call of Cthulhu by H.P. Lovecraft. This is the book that I picked up to kind of replace Lilith in my October reads. Lilith was going nowhere fast. I couldn't get into it. It was definitely more of like, what are we here for? What's our purpose? You know, it's a very, very wordy book, and it's not got that spooky feel that I was kind of going for with all of my October reads. So this is a short story, and I thought, perfect. It's got a monster. I love monsters. I love Godzilla. I love Predator. I grew up in a household where, no joke, my dad honestly believes Predator is the best movie ever made. And so I always love monsters. I'm like, I do not think Predator is the best movie ever made, but it's up there for me. I do like it a lot. I would say Godzilla -1 is also like tops for me as far as monster films. It's super good. Recommend both. But yeah, I never read anything by H.P. Lovecraft. I have heard the term Lovecraftian monster, and I didn't know really what it was, and I did not know about Cthulhu, but I am impressed. I like Cthulhu. I thought that is actually a very scary monster, and I would definitely recommend this one. So if you haven't read it, I will go over like a basic plot summary, but I will try and stay away from spoilers. But I'm just going to say this was probably like a good 4-star read for me, and I think you should check it out. So that's my recommendation for Call of Cthulhu, which is going to be hard for me to keep saying. But yeah, so let's talk about the plot. So you have the nephew of this, I guess he was like a scientist. I don't really remember the uncle's job. Like I know that the nephew is an anthropologist. I'm not sure if his uncle was in the same line of work, but his uncle dies under like somewhat mysterious circumstances, and he goes to obviously take care of his property and estate and all that. And he's dealing with his uncle's property, and he finds all these like newspaper clippings and these written accounts of these things happening that are not explained, and he finds out that his uncle was looking into this cult, and he hears about this monster Cthulhu. And it's not really like, is it, like a monster? Is it just like some like unknown deity, that maybe like these ancient tribes were worshiping? It's all very like dark and mysterious. And it all starts with this guy telling his uncle these dreams that he's having about this place where it's dark and it's, like very different than anything. Like he even says like the geometry is wrong. Like it's not like the place is not made right. Everything's like off, and it shouldn't exist in this world. And he talks about hearing these chants and the word Cthulhu. And then of course there's another written account from a police officer talking about how they came across these cultists that had sacrificed humans and were dancing around to this statue of Cthulhu. Cthulhu is kind of described as like having like an octopus kind of type head, like tentacles and wings, and just like this creepy underwater, we find out possibly underwater monster. And the idea being that these cultists are trying to wake Cthulhu and bring about, what would be the end of our world, but a new, glorious civilization run by, chaos and, these monsters. And the origin isn't really known. The cultists say things like, oh, he came with, like before man, and he arrived with like through the stars and all this. And it's like they came here, and then all these monsters fell into this deep sleep. And Cthulhu is still aware and can infect your dreams and can, still like, especially if you're an artist or someone who's more sensitive like that. So that's kind of like the basics. And then the nephew is finding out more about Cthulhu and more about the cult, and he's chasing all these different leads and trying to figure out, what's the truth, and is this all real, or was, his uncle being kind of, led along by people just making up stories. So I think it's great. I really like it. I like the narrative style is very old school. It's, a guy talking about, here's the written account of this, here's written account of that. So it's not that if you're not used to kind of an older style of writing, if you read a lot of modern books, you might not like it. It's a different feel, but I thought it was really good. So I think this book is really good. I think it's fun, fun. And it's like fun because it's got a cool monster, and I like the idea of it invading your dreams, and also, this kind of cult that's trying to awaken Cthulhu. It's very dark, but I think that's why it works, and I can see where it would inspire a lot of horror and like books and movies, and that were inspired by H.P. Lovecraft and Lovecraftian monsters. Like it's just that good. It's definitely got really great like building blocks for really good horror. And I was like, yeah, that's a very intense, like scary monster. Like I'm on board. I'm on board with Cthulhu. So if you haven't read it, check it out. But I got more H.P. Lovecraft. Like this was part of a collection of stories, so I'll definitely be reading more, and I will let you know what I think about them. I'm gonna try and get another video out before the end of October, so I don't know if it'll be another H.P. Lovecraft or if I'll try and get something a little more spooky in there. But yeah, if you have read anything by H.P. Lovecraft, or if you have a favorite Lovecraftian monster, you can tell me in the comments or give me some recommendations, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video.